We have the wonderful Simon Bartholomew from the brand new Heavies, my favourite guitarist, the person I absolutely adore and in awe of his musical talents. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me today. I'm incredibly excited to have you on as an international star. So I'm going to start off sort of by saying, Simon, everyone knows you, don't they? Well, most people should know you. If they're into funk and if they're into soul and everything like that, of course they know you. So let's get started by sort of telling them what you're up to at the moment.
Right now, well, just gearing back up, you know. Hello, everybody out there. Gearing back up for work, you know. It's amazing. Like, I'm currently not praying, but hoping very much there's not going to be another lockdown. And so we can get out there and do our thing. We've got a lot of festivals around the country and things like that to do. So really excited about getting out again. A, because I need to earn some money. B, because I love doing the funky music, maybe. And playing the guitar, you know.
Yeah, so obviously in the last year, you've just been sort of working on what have you been working on the last year?
Just sort of homeschooling.
No music,
which is
then?
quite a challenge. I've put a little bits of music here and there. We did a live stream for the Jazz Cafe.
I know, I was there.
And I've wrote a song for Hello magazine and stuff like that. But yeah, and but not so much music. Weirdly, I've got a new computer and I have to move everything from my old computer, which is out of date, but works fine. And so that kind of thing, doing that and.
But you were
but it's all going on in my head, like what we're going to be doing. Yeah.
But you were at Boysdale.
Yeah, well, I think we're due to be there very soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, it's going to be great. And,
I'm coming on the 29th, actually, Simon.
29th. Okay, great. We'll have to say hi.
We should, yeah.
No?
Yeah, I'll be sitting right at the front. No. I'll be sitting right at the front, sort of like, you know, in those VIP seats. So there'll be no missing me.
Yeah, what are you going to wear? What am I going to wear?
It depends on the weather, actually. I actually had an outfit already planned, okay, for like the one in November, which then got cancelled, and then it was like, you know, the one in December. So I'm not too sure that that's going to sort of suit. So I'm probably just going to have to buy something else.
Well, that's an excuse to get a bit of Resale therapy in.
Yeah, absolutely. Not that I don't have a big enough wardrobe already, like you, probably.
Yeah, how do you do it with clothes? Do you because I've been emptying a storage unit out and I've got a lot of old clothes I've worn on stage over the years. And I don't like repeating clothes on stage, but, you know, they're so mad and fun and I don't get to sort of I haven't had a chance to go shopping and stuff. But, you know, I don't know, I've got too many clothes to keep.
I was going to get to that,
how do you do it? Do you like, if you haven't worn it for 6 months, throw it out?
Absolutely, I do, actually.
Do you have any, like,
it's
rules?
No, 6 months, no, like 2 years. 2 years. But I was going to get to that. It's like, because you
2 years,
have
yeah, 2 years.
Incredible style, don't you? And like, you know, what you were wearing on the cover.
I do, well, it's yeah. I mean, you know, my cat's now attacking I've got this guy here, look. Fierce beast. Say hello, Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Oh, sorry, Fluffy. You want to sit? Did you hear that?
I did, yeah. Fluffy wasn't happy.
And you just keep on bashing my electronic devices. But yeah, no, this is it. So yeah, clothes-wise and all that, I've got a lot of stuff, and I don't want to throw it because it's kind of, I've worn it in Japan and all around the world and stuff. Maybe I should auction it off for charity or something like that.
Yeah, like Princess Diana or something. You know, they do that, don't they? They sort of sell their clothes, and they're big fans. You've got
do they auction Princess Diana? I don't know. I don't know.
We are getting off the subject. But there are people who actually sell things like their pants and all sorts of things, actually, like the T-shirts that they've worn and all sorts of things to their adoring fans that will pay top dollar for it. So there's a new business for you, Simon.
Oh, I'd wear.
Yeah. Sell some of your clothes, okay?
Definitely, because I need to make some. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet you they would buy them. I bet you. And I'm going to be in charge of actually your eBay sort of page, and we'll get that going. Hey, what do you think?
Yeah, that'd be good. I need a hand with my general. I'm working on a website and stuff like that. But I'm not working on it. What I'm not doing is working on it. But I have a name and I have like some ideas. I just need to get like it together and sit down and do it. You know.
You need YAYA's help, basically. I'm very good at all that kind of stuff, you know, because honestly, you know what I'm like, so I just get on with those things. And I'm very good at making websites, very good at doing all sorts of things, actually, Simon. So, but anyway, we're going to get on to the fact that most people probably know, actually.
Yeah.
You've got 16 top 40 hits, over 3 million album sales. I mean, you are, without doubt, you know, the funk guitar master of the world, aren't you? And, you know, everyone knows that you do.
There's Nile Rodgers, he's quite good.
Well, you know, yeah, but he's not you know. He's not part of the brand new Heavies. And obviously, you know...
That's true,
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Tell me
carry
about Nile Rodgers, yeah.
Sorry. Well, I was just going to talk about more about like playing funky guitar. You know, funk guitar is like a bit of a style in a way. So I like to think that, and I said it before, but you're really like carrying a bit of a torch, you know, and holding just passing music on, really, and sort of keeping music alive. I watched something about Carl Cox and all the big DJs from the 80s and 90s. There's a new guy's like 17, and there's no instruments in the music. It's all like this, like this kind of synthesizer stuff. And it's all like these big drops, and they're playing to thousands of people at dance festivals now. And like, it's amazing to have watched all these festivals grow, like, because we come out of a club scene, a DJ culture, the Heavies does. That's how we heard the music influenced us. And yeah, so I like to keep the guitar alive a bit. In fact, at one point, like about 89 or something like that, Acid House was so big, I thought it was all over for me and my guitar, because it was a kind of electronic music. Well, but then acid jazz happened, then the funk scene happened, then hip hop happened more, and so like yeah.
And a lot of the DJs are remixing all of this kind of stuff now as well, aren't they? They're kind of sort of taking all of the old music and remixing it and basically making it this kind of new disco, and it's fabulous. I'm loving it. You know, so you've got Purple Disco Machine, you've got, you know, Dimitri in Paris and all that kind of stuff, sort of mixing, you know, remixing everything, which is fabulous, because it brings all of that old music back up into the 90s. The 90s?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you see? The noughties. No, it's not even the noughties anymore. What is it now? It's like...
No, we are 2021. Showing my age there, absolutely. Yeah. Back in
2020.
Yeah. How did we get here?
Well, if you think about it, how did we get to 2021? Suddenly that just freaked me out.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, probably like you do, Simon, as well. Sort of, you know, still in the 90s, sort of thinking, you know.
Well, yeah, you know, you sort of like, it's funny because you do still feel the same. I think they should talk more about that in school and stuff, getting older and being just the same.
Forever young, though, we are.
Like being a parent and being seen as like, well, yeah, we live in a generation of forever youngness, you know, because I think when I was a kid, a lot of stuff has changed. You know, like airplane travel was quite new in the 80s. It's when everyone started traveling really cheap and going to Spain and stuff. And so, like, yeah, now we have like nightclubs for every age group, and everyone can go out all the time. You know, it's amazing. Festivals for everybody.
Yeah,
it just didn't exist when I was younger at all.
But the UK has always been very much a live event scene, hasn't it? And I think the BBC particularly was one that really, really pushed live music, weren't they? Because I worked at BBC Radio, and at the time, the BBC was really, really pushing sort of live music. We had, you know, all our outside broadcast sound vehicles, And they've really kind of brought live music into the UK sort of scene more so than any other country did at the time, you know. So I think, you know, it's great because if you go to other countries, there's just not that kind of, you know, live event scene that there is here. And that's why it's, you know, it's a real shame that all the things that we really appreciate in this country have like disappeared really to a large degree, haven't they? That, you know, and I know your UK sort of the Funk is Back tour was cancelled last year, and it's back on now, isn't it? Because I'm coming to the O2 one. I'm coming to Boysdale. I'm coming to O2. I'm coming to everything. Everything I can do. Well, within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
So what else have you got planned? You've got
Rochester
Castle and all sorts of other things coming up this year.
Yeah, there's a load of stuff, yeah. And it's very exciting. And also we can start like thinking about making a new record, a new album. Yes. And that's that in amongst the mess of my world. Like I say, I'm clearing up my storage unit, and I've kept all these drawings that my kids did when they were like 3 years old in nursery. Yeah. And I've been like, well, I was going to scan them, and I'm just taking pictures of them all. I'm going to make us like a slideshow of them all and store them on YouTube, because I can't keep like 2-3 boxes of. I'm having clear outs.
Yeah, I did it the other day, and I had a skip, and I was going through their drawings, and I was going through their drawings with them, and we were just doing it together, and we just decided, okay, we'll keep that, we won't keep that, and yeah, it kind of broke my heart, some of the ones that I sort of like threw away, because you want to keep everything, don't you? You want to keep everything that your children do, but you know, there's just no space, is it? You just can't do it, and I'm very good now at skipping.
if you look at some of them, that's very good. That's good. That's another talent to learn in life, if you keep things. And if you look at some of the drawings, if they wasn't your kid, they'd be like, it's nothing, is it? It's just a big door. But I used to pin a lot on the wall, and I found some with all blue tack on the back, and I used to sort of like have some up. So they kind of like have little special things. Yeah, I mean, plus absolutely. I'm quite into like Rauschenberg and artists like that, the New York art scene in the 70s. And like, I'm not like so into it, but it gives me like the Warhol thing and everything. So I can appreciate like some big painterly daubs. I went to art college, you know, and so like I've got an appreciation of things that other people might not.
Yeah, you're very artistic in so many ways, aren't you? Yes. So I mean, I think you know, if you look at your, I'm not going to tell people about your Instagram page, because that's your private page, isn't it? It is open to the public, isn't it? But it is kind of private. But that's where you kind of sort of share a few of your little doodles and a few of your little bits and pieces that go on.
It's funny because I looked at what I post, and I don't really think, I don't know, I watched this guy called Gary V. He's this really like brilliant guy.
I know Gary V,
about posting and about, and he was just like, to start posting like 5 times a day on every platform. So I just tried to start doing it. I've got a TikTok thing going. I'm not really pursuing it all properly. I didn't manage to keep it up. You know, I guess you have times when you're a bit busy or you're a bit like low or whatever. And so then you lose the vibe.
Family takes over, doesn't it? Yeah, family takes over. And I think the family. Yeah, and the thing is, you know, with these social media platforms, it is important. And, you know, I have, my daughter was telling me the other day, she said TikTok is the most important one at the moment because it's so easy to get likes. She tells me it's so easy to get likes. I'm like, well, I don't get these likes. And she said, but you're not kind of like doing what, you know, everyone else is doing, which is copying everyone else. So, yeah, essentially you have to kind of do the kind of, you know, not the arty stuff, Simon, you know, that you have to do the kind of stuff that is like copying people.
What Gary V said about that, he's, you know, because his social media can work for everyone anyway. It's amazing. Like he talks about his early businesses where he used to put like Xerox, you know, like photocopy flyers and put them under windscreens in a car park near his dad's off license, you know, and then you have to buy advertising on certain places, and you can still do that. But the internet's like free. That's amazing. Yeah. So, you know, if you post regularly and do something, I mean, like, are you hashtagging? You've got a hashtag apparently.
Yes, well,
When you
hashtag has
post
been
on
around for a
TikTok.
long time. But the hashtag has been around for a long time. But on Twitter as well, obviously, you know, they don't really need the hashtag. So there's certain sort of you know, social media sites that use the hashtag, like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. But we are digressing. So shall we sort of talk about a little bit about your guitars? Because I want everyone to know about, like, you haven't got your Strat in your bed with you, which I was wondering whether you take it to bed. Or whether you kiss it goodnight.
Well, you know, I don't, but
you don't.
there's a few Jimi Hendrix songs. I've slept with my guitars before.
That's
if
what
I
I
play
was
with them,
gonna
I feel like
Are they good
they've lain
company?
next to me. Yeah, I've got my 12-string.
Have you?
strung
So
up.
I was going to ask you, what's your favourite guitar then? Is it the Strat or is it some other kind of guitar?
Well, you know, I like the Strat because I like the way it looks, and I'm used to it now, and it's become something you just get familiar with.
And how old is that one?
I've got a few. I think it's like a 1974 one.
Wow.
I bought it in a pawn shop, and now the paint's wearing off. You can see it was once black, and now someone's stole it, sprayed it white, and sold it to a pawn shop. I think so, yeah. But
Wow.
Fender do a custom workshop, and they actually do a pawn shop one, which they spray it black, then they spray it white, and then they wear it out where it would get worn out as a mock thing. You know, they do aged guitars now, all hand built by your chosen builder.
Yeah.
And really, I like the sound of I quite like the sound of warmer sound on guitars. You know, I never really found the sound I liked, if I'm honest. And often the sound I get out there is quite thin, but when I'm playing, I feel like it's like fat and big, and I'm right at the front. And then you hear the mix back, and you're like a little fly in the corner of the sound. You know,
I don't think anyone else hears it. Probably the same way that you hear it. Actually, it's probably sort of it always sounds fantastic to me, especially when you're playing live. But so what is your favourite guitar though? So it is the Strat, and then obviously and you do kiss them goodnight. That's good to know. And do you actually play? Do you actually play it with your tongue or not, or is that just a trick? Can you actually play it with your tongue?
It's teeth.
Is it your teeth? Yeah, I thought it was your teeth.
Yeah, you play. Yeah, because your tongue would just get lacerated. But it's the teeth. Yeah. It's a tradition from the R&B circuit.
Yeah.
You know, I think in America, Jimi Hendrix did it, but he wasn't certainly wasn't the first. A lot of people do that before he got it from someone else and playing behind the head and everything. I think it's just fun. You know, I decided to myself at a certain point, shall I stop dressing up now I'm a finer wine, an older vintage, you know, and I thought, if I went to see Jimi Hendrix, for example, would I want to see him in a Noel Edmonds jumper sitting on a stool, you know, do you know what I mean by Noel Edmonds jumper?
Yeah.
You know, like a daytime TV sort of sure, but no, I want to see Hendrix with his fucking wild hair, and I want to see, even if he's old, I'd like to see that he stayed with it, you know, so.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in some of it, but that's why I do always do a little bit of the teeth work, because I think it's funny too as well, you know, and it's
and it's cool. I
really care about the guitar, and I really even though we play the same songs over and over again, I do approach them, you know, when I'm there doing it, it's it's new every time. It's not there's no complacency. It's not just watching Netflix and doing a doodle, you know, you're drawing a drawing, you're focused on that, you know, you focus on the guitar.
Yeah. And so you must have missed this terribly, because even though you can play at home, it's just not the same thing as playing live, is it? It's not the same thing as playing live in front of an audience. And being sort of probably an extrovert. Would you call yourself an extrovert like me? I mean, I'm definitely an extrovert. I like an audience.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm in my mind, I say one thing to myself. I don't really know what I really like, but I'm I do want to go and do it again, but I know I've got to. And I do like playing, I guess, more and more. And I think I do miss it, yeah.
And jumping on the tables, you did at Boysdale. And I mean, honestly, you know, you don't show your age when you do that, do you? Jumping on the tables and up you go. And yeah.
Well, we went out to Japan about we had this gig in this place called the Billboard, or was it the Blue Note? And what it is, you do 2 shows a night. And they're about an hour a piece. And people have dinner. And then when they're just finishing their dessert, the band comes on. for like an hour, like 60 minutes. And we went the day before, and it was like, I think it was Kenny G or someone, and he's amazing, you know. But he's got the legendary smooth jazz label from Bill and Ted or something, hasn't he? I don't know if you've seen that film.
Yeah.
And I just thought, or one of those sort of films, or was it Wayne's World? Anyway, he's in that. Anyway, I looked at this and I thought, fuck, I'm not going to go up being like a musician or being like a guitarist. It's got to be like rock and roll. And I brought all these insane clothes, and every night, every show, I wore something different. And the tables kind of, you know, you're on the stage like this, and the tables go off like that.
Yeah.
And I was picking up people's drinks and going on the guitar. I was walking down the tables. People were like, "Fucking, it's Japan." They're like, "What the fuck?" But they asked us back.
Yeah.
But when I think back, I'm like, did I really do that? It's kind of outrageous. I might do it again.
I think you should actually.
But I just wanted to keep that thing going, that feeling, you know. Even if I'm old, I like the thing, like the Rolling Stones. You know, it's like really bad press. At one point, there's really bad pictures, looking really haggard, like really unflattering pictures. This is quite a while ago. They're too old to do it now, and they're fucking Guardian or something like that. I don't know. And I thought, well, if people want to see it and people like them,
yeah,
then let them do their thing, man.
I think absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with you is you have that. Like, I would say, you know, out of everyone in the brand new Heavies, you know, you have that stage presence, you have that showmanship. You really do get the crowd sort of going, don't you, with your energy and I mean, you know, in terms of managing the band as well. Obviously, you probably get the best out of everyone, don't you? I mean, I'm always amazed how, you know, you keep everyone happy, because it is difficult, isn't it, to keep everyone happy in a band. I mean, obviously, you have had various band members who have come and gone, but obviously, you know, you're still fresh and you're still keeping, you know, the brand new Heavies, you know, up to date with the, you know, the current musical taste and everything else. Obviously, with your new album and your latest album with Shibuya, which was obviously the live recording of, you know, 1992. Is it 1992? Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it still sounds as fresh as it did back in sort of, you know, back in the 90s. So it's amazing. You know, I'm a massive fan, obviously, as you know, not only of you, but obviously of the brand new Heavies.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. I'm kind of currently working. One of the reasons I'm doing a website is because I've always wanted to do some other projects too, and you know, I quite like some rock music and stuff like that, and you know, jazz and like weird stuff.
What sort of rock stuff
Frank
do you like
Zappa.
then? Okay.
Well, more like the stuff. What I used to listen to, like, you know, in Ealing, which is like the burbs, you know, rural suburbs. There was like, it was a time when people like, you know, if you kind of like, I had an older brother and we had the John Peel show, so like on the radio, so you'd hear like Kraftwerk and reggae and punk, and I was really into rock and roll. First of all, I love like, you know, Chuck Berry and Eddie Cochran, Little Richard, like the Rocky and Elvis stuff at the time. I like more Elvis later stuff now, but and then it sort of came into this sort of like, you know, we got into like a bit of like fucking, you know, not say a word, but indica. Yeah. And things like that. Well, kind of, you know, but got a bit like older brothers turned on to like listen to like rock music and things like that. So yeah, we had some quite weird bands like the Pink Fairies and the Deviants. And these people were sort of connected with like the London Underground and then like rock and stuff like that. And then like, you know, I can enjoy Van Halen now because it's like high octane, you know, it's like a roller coaster ride. You don't want to be on one all the time. So but now and again.
If your solo album is going to come out, would it be, I mean, you said you've been working your solo album for how long? 30 years?
About 34 years. But I've been working, it's been sitting on it was actually on the old big tape and I had to transfer it to digital. And someone's mixing it now, but I haven't got any money to get it mixed, but I'm going to try and get it done somehow. And yeah, I mean, I started doing it when I was like 21, 22. I mean, it's like, and the idea was like funky rock. And I kind of wish I put it out before, but I was really shy about it. And now I'm older, I can sort of distance myself and say, oh, that was me then, and kind of like not really face the music. Because when you're in a band, you're just behind the band image, you know?
Exactly.
And not really being yourself. And that's the tough thing to do. And I recommend just being yourself and getting out there and doing your things.
Yeah.
You know, not repressing yourself. And there's a certain amount of people around me that have maybe, you know, stilted my confidence or whatever, in some ways over time.
Yeah.
And very interesting, yeah.
It is very interesting. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? There are certain people that will, for whatever reason, you know, that they'll sort of, you know, take or want the limelight more so than others, or, you know, and such like. And I think that's probably very much the case in a band, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like
that was exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, managing those kind of sort of personalities and those egos and such like. You know, if you're like me, I'm just me, so I don't have anyone else to deal with. It's great.
Well, it is easier, but I think that like if you look at music, and there's some amazing kind of electronic music now, but all the good music comes out of like collaborations or sort of groups in some way. Yes. Art is the umbrella that it all falls under, and of course the painter is a lone creator. Well, never alone, because they're always getting influenced and looking at lots of stuff and meeting people, and sometimes often no other artists, or a poet will read lots of other poems and know things, but be doing it on their own, because it's kind of hard to write a poem with someone else unless you're telepathic. You probably could do, but not regularly.
Yeah, I was going to get to that actually. So do you have a muse, or do you have anything that inspires you to write, or to, you know, to write songs, or I don't know. How does it work? Most artists have something that will inspire them. I always have someone that inspires me in my poetry.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a little thing called cash money, baby. So, I don't know. For me, it's like when I play my guitar, I'm not conscious about, because with music, it's more like, I guess if you're writing words, you need to have something tangible to write about. Whereas music is abstract, isn't it? And so I'm just playing some chords and things, and I go dun, 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 and annoyingly I write like a riff. I pick up the guitar, I'll write something that could be a tune within minutes. It's a bit annoying, really. And I'm working on a bunch of things. I don't know what sort of music they are, really. And then
how would you put the lyrics to that then? Would you? Do you start with the lyrics, or do you start with the music, or how does it work? Is it if you're starting with something? Are you starting with the song first, or how does that process work?
Mostly for me, it's with the music. I mean, I tend to play more. I also do lots of lyrics and words, and that's a sort of new area for me, because I've not written so many songs as I have like contributed to the whole of the band as a whole, like that. So that's something I'm kind of working on, and it's kind of like a really interesting, because you really start to find out your identity, you know, and what you want to sing about. Is it going to be like raunchy, or is it going to be miserable and deep and experiential?
Bit of Nick Drake going on there, or
or a bit of a party going on.
Yeah,
I like a bit of Nick Drake.
I know you do, yeah. I like a bit of Nick Drake, but I do find a bit of his sort of, a few of his songs quite depressing, and, you know, because obviously, you know, they're very much like that, aren't they? They're lovely, beautiful songs, but, you know, I will put them on when I want to feel sad. But I put on the brand new Heavies when I want to feel happy, you know, so there you go. There's always music depending on your mood, isn't there? So.
Well, it's a great drug, because if you do feel sad, you can put something on that's going to perk you up a bit.
Yeah. Or make it even sadder.
I found at one point Michael Jackson, or go with the sadness.
Yeah.
Go all the way down till you can't go any lower emotionally, and then go a little bit lower. And I'm just watching my finger on the screen.
Yeah.
And then disappear, and then the only way is up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you never come back, and you can.
Yeah. Let's not go there. Not after lockdown. Not after everyone else is having all these problems, aren't they? You know, in lockdown, people are. You know,
well, I'm starting to feel like, now I'm just. If it locks down again, this has to be a revolution, because I think, you know, I saw this bar graph on a tweet the other day, and it was like the cases of COVID in Sweden, where they didn't lock down, and in the UK. And it's like there's two lines with different colours, and they're the same, and they didn't lock down. I know they had a bit of a thing.
I think they socially distance a little bit more, don't they? Yeah, they're a little bit more kind of responsible. They just,
well, they all went out, but they're socially distanced. They had the restaurants. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I don't want to get too much into that, but I do want to start working again. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a mask or like not being able to play music.
No,
I'd rather fucking die. I'd rather get COVID and die. And you can get COVID and live. I mean, millions of people get it, and they lose their sense of smell for a week, and then it's gone.
The most important thing really is just to get back to normal life, to get back to, you know, live events, get back to that socialization, because I would say the teenagers particularly have suffered the most because, you know, they're going through that sort of really sort of, you know, that period where they need friends, and that, you know, your emotional health and your mental health is just as important as your physical health, isn't it? And I think that's what a lot of people are really struggling with, is that it's kind of been pushed to the side and not spoken about, and it's difficult. And actually the thing that's probably got most people through is probably music, I would have to say. You know, what do we do when we're sort of like feeling a little bit depressed? We put on a tune, we put on a good funk track or something, and it lifts us up. You know, a friend of mine said to me, when you speak to Simon, he's gonna lift you up, because I had some bad news yesterday. So, you know, you're my little SOS.
Oh my God! I hope everything's all right.
It's just my son. Yeah, so yeah, but. We'll talk about that later.
On the interview
later. We'll talk about that
later.
later.
Well, you know, it's a terrible thing. You know, when if you do find yourself alone and or not be able to see your friends, it is tough. You know, so many people have had like missed their 21st birthdays, 18th, and
yes, my oldest missed his 18th. He missed his 18th birthday on it was the 10th of November. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, someone's trying to call it. I've got to decline that. How do I do that? Stop that. Are you still there? Yeah, you're still there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm still there. That's okay. Yeah. So, where are we up to? Yeah. So, what am I going to get up to? I'm going to sort of ask you something about. I've lost my train of thought now. I lost my train of thought.
No, hold on a second. Oh, you're back. You've got a bit. That's okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, no, you were just going. Go for a second.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you.
But you're back now because of that call, I think.
Yeah, it is that call. I'm going to ask you a few more questions, right? And then we're going to finish up, and then we can have a chat later, okay? Because otherwise, this is going to go on for ages on the radio interview, and I'll have to edit massively. So I'm going to be like, I'll be like,
well, you know, I like to.
The whole show will be Simon, and I'll be like, oh my God, they'll be like, yeah. So I'm going to ask you a couple of things, right, about your history, okay? Because people may not know this. So you're a multi-instrumentalist, yeah? You're a multi-instrumentalist, but a lot of people just know you as playing your guitar. But what other instruments do you play, Simon?
I play I don't play the keyboards, but I don't play any wind instruments, but I do play the drums, and I got the funk on that. I'm not like a diddle-a-bar-diddle-a-doo, but I can do that, and I play the bass as well.
Yeah, do you?
But the bass, when you pick instruments up, you know, it's like you can't. To me, you have to get into them and play them regularly. It's not like they're to be respected. You know, you have a bass head. When I play the bass, I think differently about what I'm going to add to the music, I guess, or just feel that through. But yeah, so I mean, I can play those instruments if I had more time and a more chance to play them. I could. Things with the bass, the way I play the bass, the way I think the bass is needed is another thing. But anyway, if I talk too much,
you don't play the didgeridoo. So you don't play the didgeridoo then? I want to know that because Mr. Vinyl, I don't know if you Mr. Vinyl, he plays the didgeridoo because obviously he went to Australia. That's not something.
Oh right, does he?
Planning on learning.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah.
It's more of a didgeridoo. Didn't he? Don't. Yeah, did. The old joke, yeah. Oh, got my leg out of the picture here.
You tell me that joke. And so when did you obviously?
Did he play on your?
No, he didn't play on my sort of my interview. No, next time when I get him on, I'm going to get him to play it. But he has actually played it live on one of his Facebook stories, so I have actually seen it. So I do know that he's not lying. It's actually sort of true. Yeah. Now I've got a question right from my best friend Julie. Okay, she wants to know if you have any rituals that you do before you go on stage. Do you do like yoga or any kind of?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I like to I like to be blindfolded and do like a taste test where just like maybe some hummus or like, you know, some different flavors of things just to get my...
That's not for real, is it?
Well, no, it's not. Basically, I get quite... I try not to, but I get... With the band, we have a sort of... This is stuff, you know, like most bands have a little kind of camaraderie moment where they all like get together.
Yeah.
But we sort of like prepare. And you're preparing all day. I mean, when you know there's a show in 2 weeks, your mind is already working on it.
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
Well, mine is anyway. And you know, and then just before the show, you know, you're like, I try not to shout too much because I get a bit loud, you know. I want to sort of like ready, released.
Yeah. So are you the one that?
Because when we were younger, you know, it was like much more scarier going on stage.
Yeah. Do you kind of cheer everyone up to get everyone like, you know, their energy going? Is that what you do? How do you do that?
Yeah, we sometimes do a bit of like a get together and do like a you know, like. Shit like that, you know. Cliche kind of shit like that.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, the whole band puts their hand in them. Yeah.
But you're not doing any kind of like yoga or anything. You're not any of like these kind of like leg things like that, you know, warming yourself up so you can jump on the tables.
Yeah, no. I mean, no, nothing. Nothing sort of like proper.
No touching your toes or doing.
No. Angela, our singer's funny because she sounds like she's often in a little room or somewhere like away, and she's like sounds like a you're in some kind of beautiful rainforest because she's making some strange like vocal warm-up noises like but you know she's singing for like an hour and a half and that's like a lot of wind and air passing through your throat quite quickly. So probably a good idea. No,
Angela's she's great.
Yeah, we have the shout.
Love her.
Yeah, she's wonderful, isn't she? Yeah. And yeah, you know, I like to sort of make sure I've warmed up and usually do some sound checks, you know, and before a show, if I don't play for a few days before the show, it's what's called chops. I don't know if you heard this thing called chops. It's more of like trumpet players. If you don't play the trump, you lose the muscles, the trumpet.
All right.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
And if you lose the musculature. So if I don't play guitar, literally it's like, I need to. It's like your muscles just aren't there to do what you want to do.
Yeah, it's like that in ballet.
So you need to be playing regularly.
When you're dancing sort of professionally, you can't even take a week off. You can't even take because you just can't walk. You just literally, you're just like that. You just, you know, it's just not worth it. You just can't take any sort of time off, you know. So because as you said, that muscle memory, it's not the muscle memory. It's just it just hurts. It just hurts, as you said. Yeah, it hurts bad. So. Yeah.
You've got to keep it. Keep it all exercised.
So we're going to finish off though, but obviously you've got all these shows coming up. You've got a few more tickets, left for Boysdale, haven't you? You've got a few more on the 21st because that was an added show, wasn't it? You've also got a few other sort of gigs that you're sort of lining up, but a lot of the gigs are probably already sold out, aren't they? Because they've been pushed forward from last year, haven't they? So if they want to come and see you, Simon, where can they come?
Try your luck.
Try your luck, yeah.
Oh my God! Go to their Facebook or something like that and have a look. Because there's a load of shows. I can't remember them all.
I know you can't. I can see your brain going like that.
Sold out.
Yeah. I think the 28th.
Well, it's a lot of shows to remember year out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's we put on another Brazil show because it's sold out. So we put on another one. And I can't remember. I can't remember the dates exactly.
Yeah, it's
about 3 or 4 weeks, isn't it? Something like that.
I know the dates.
I can't wait to do the thing, man, and play the music.
I know the dates. Okay, it is the 21st of May, the 28th of May, and the 29th of May at Boysdale. You've also got O2 with Indigo, which is in November the 11th. You've also got sort of Rochester Castle. You've also got quite a lot of other sort of festivals that you're attending. So at least YAYA knows where you are and the dates that you're going to be there. Yeah. Which I should do.
You've done your research. Well done.
I don't really need to do my research.
Yeah, you're doing it. It's great.
It's just in there. It's just like in there, yeah. Because I'm coming to them anyway.
Wow,
So
okay.
yeah, I should know. Yeah, I should know. So
Yeah, we've got shows in like Blackpool. We've got like a show. We're supporting Tom Jones, the legend,
really? Wow, where's that then?
in somewhere near Blackpool, and yeah, we've got shows like UB40 and things like that this year. And
One with Soul to Soul, haven't you? Yeah.
DJ. I've also I've got a guy who's encouraging me into a DJ career.
Come and join me on
So I'm gonna get
on my
some
radio
DJing
show.
too.
Yeah, come on to the show.
Yeah, okay, you love to, yeah.
Yeah, you could do like a you could be my like.
I'd like
we could
that,
be,
yeah,
like joint
that'd be
host, couldn't we? Funky Fridays with Yaya and Sai. That'd be
Back
great,
to
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to work it all out, get into it all. It's a thing. But,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
amazing.
So anyway, so you're going to do that, and
So,
then I'm going to
yeah,
help you with
we
your.
better get like you've got a lot of stuff here now.
I have got a lot of stuff here. I'm going to be editing this for like days. So yeah, until Friday. So I'm going to sort of sign up. I'm going to sort of say thank you so much for coming onto the show today, Simon. Lots of love to you and your beautiful family, your beautiful kids. And I can't wait to see you on the 29th. I can't wait to sort of get up and party and dance. And I'll probably jump on stage. Do you think they'll kick me off? Most likely. But anyway.
Yeah, but you
we
got
will
to do it anyway. You got to do it
what I'm
anyway.
like?
So it's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I'm like? I like to get the party started, don't I? So,
baby.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we will sort of see you in May. Take care, lovely.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Yaya, and good luck with
pleasure.
everything. Ciao.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. Bye bye.